Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Cheri Hudson-Passy from the SLIG Committee. And today I've got a wonderful guest who's come to talk about her SLIG course. This is Pamela Vittoria. And her course for SLIG 2026 is Communication Nation, How Our Ancestors Connected and the Records They Left Behind. And this deals with the 19th to the mid 20th centuries. This sounds fabulous. And I just need to say that this is going to be one of the week-long courses.
That's
And
right.
it'll be starting on January 26th, and it's 8:30 to 4 Mountain Time.
That's right.
Okay, I want to make sure I got the right time in there. So, well, welcome. I can't wait to hear all about this course.
Thank you, Sherry. It's great to be here. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to hear about
Um,
it. Just let's start off with just a brief overview of the course. What is this course all about?
sure. I think one of the things that we don't always look at in genealogy, because we're always trying to get our hands on documents,
Hmm.
are the things from material culture.
Oh, yes.
So I want to dive deeply into the various modes of communication that were really part of our ancestors' daily lives. We have to think about where they got their information from word of mouth to typewritten documents, handwritten letters, recordings, and sometimes there are clues in these objects or ephemera that we haven't yet investigated. I've had that experience myself, and that's probably what inspired me to come up with this course. So, we're going to examine communication from different perspectives, like the creators of messages and transmitters used to convey the information. So, those are devices and machines that they used. Most of those are what we call analog. And our next generation typically will say rotary phone,
Yeah,
right?
what is that?
So we're going to look at some of those things. And then the manner by which the messages were delivered. So whether they were written or oral, and the occupations of the people who sent those things or intercepted them or received them, because
Right.
sometimes our ancestors themselves were in those professions.
Ah,
And I
yes.
think researching material culture will enhance our family stories. So some of us may have inherited all kinds of things,
Hmm.
objects, devices, tools, writing implements, letter openers, and
Wow.
those can be important parts of our family stories. But if we don't examine them and we don't know what they are, then we're missing a
Oh,
little piece
so
of that
true.
history, right? So I like to look at any kind of object because I think it could be the missing link in a chain of events in our ancestors' lives. Just like ephemera, broadsides, posters,
Hmm.
how they got news, magazines, a handbill, etc. And so if our ancestor was not able to read or write, we have to consider how they got their information. Was there a town crier?
Mm.
Um, did they go to a telegraph office to ask them to send a message because they couldn't handwrite something? So we see these connections between communication devices and transportation. And because those things went parallel to each other, methods of communication and transportation industry having close ties, waterways, railways, trails were conduits for communication. So that teaches us more about migration pathways because when we're
Yeah,
examining one thing, it opens the door to the other things.
sure. I love that. I love that. So as you put this course together, who who'd you put it together for? Who are you envisioning would be the students, your attendees in this course?
Well, I think, SLIG is very oriented to the high intermediate genealogist. And
Hmm.
so anyone who has a lot of experience with documentary evidence
Hmm.
and is ready to dive into something a little different.
Hmm.
And of course, a person who has stuff. Because and by that I mean, if you have boxes of things in your attic,
Uh,
documents, heirlooms,
yeah.
artifacts, ephemera, stuff on the shelves, and you want to think out of the box,
Uh-huh.
then this is the class for you because sometimes analyzing what you have in your hand or looking at it from a different perspective could just be a eureka moment. And I had plenty of these. And again, that inspired me to come up with this course to help other people find that alternative pathway to discovery.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Are there any prerequisites for this course?
Well, I think if you've taken a SLIG course that covered some methodology or ProGen,
Hmm.
GenProof, anything like that, so that you know direct evidence, indirect
Right.
evidence, et cetera, how to analyze. an informant, who the
Hmm.
informant is and that importance. If you've done NGS, IGSBU, or of course gone to other week-long institutes,
Sure.
then you're ready to dive in. You just need to be comfortable with documentary evidence to the point that you can examine a wide array of material culture,
Gotcha.
the objects, ephemera, and be able to correlate all of that.
Sounds great. Now, are there other instructors teaching, or you're doing this all by
There are. I'm
yourself?
really excited. Michael Casera will be focusing on postcards, DDology.
Right.
Dildology is the study of postcards, and it's really fascinating. And they're a big part of sometimes art
Oh,
collections,
yeah, I
right?
love postcards.
And they're great to look at, and they really enhance family stories.
Yeah, yeah,
Annette Burke-Little
yeah.
has personally a military background, so she's
Mm-hmm.
going to be
Mm-hmm.
teaching something on semaphores and parades, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
fascinating. And Jeanette Shalika is going to be talking to us about the records of the U.S. Postal Service. So
Right.
they have really great content to
Yes.
present that's going to seamlessly just fit in with the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the course. I'm so
Ah,
excited.
sounds like a great course, and what a great group of instructors you have
They
to be able
are. They
to
are.
walk people through this and find all sorts of wonderful things that maybe we hadn't, like you said, like we hadn't really looked at before.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Well, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you just wanted to say about the course to kind of encourage people to take it and fill up this class when registration opens?
Well, I think that another person's inspiration can be your inspiration. And
Hmm. Hmm.
just by serendipity, I happened upon some objects that were connected to my family history that I had no idea existed.
Mm.
And a few of them opened the gateway to a person's identity and helped me merge. This was
Wow.
a Revolutionary War ancestor's powder horn, for example, which he had inscribed
Mm.
himself with a poem and his name. I saw carvings on the inside of a barn at my cousin's farm, which had been in their family for over 100 years. And there was the date of birth of his great grandfather and the height of him and his
Wow.
son. Things like my great grandmother's hair was in an envelope that my great aunt had written on with the date and the place where she cut my great grandma's hair.
Mm.
And lo and behold, it was blonde. And my Sicilian great grandmother, I didn't expect to have blonde hair. And I would never have known because
Yes.
it was any picture of her was in black and white. And of
Right,
course, she had
right.
gray hair in most of those
Hmm.
images, and it was on top of her head. So,
Yes.
like these types of things that our
Yeah,
ancestors leave behind, monograph on a towel,
right.
monograph on some silverware, if you never look at those things, then, they just sort of
Yes.
become trivial objects in your
Right,
house.
right.
But something could be sitting on your shelf that holds a key to unlocking that moment when you think, oh my gosh, that's why they were
Oh,
in this place at this time, or oh, those were grandma's initials. And so
yeah.
those are the types of moments I would like to see other
Other
people
people have.
have and then unlock that undiscovered
Oh,
story.
I love that. This sounds like so much fun. It really does.
Well, we're gonna have a show and tell period.
Yeah.
So we'll have little case studies, but there will be a show and tell for
Okay.
half an hour every day. So any student who wants to, who has an object that may have been inscribed on or carved on, or
Hmm.
any written thing, a
Yes.
letter, etc., that they want to know more about or they want to show and tell,
Oh, I love
there'll
that
be
so
an
much.
opportunity to do that and get feedback.
Yeah, that's going to be so fun to be able to share. And people will probably look at things differently, and you'll probably get people to bring things to that show and tell that they
Oh,
hadn't
I
looked
hope
at.
so.
They'll say, "Oh my gosh, I never looked at this like that before."
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fabulous. What a fun course. And it's just a kind of a
It should
tweak
be
on.
fun. I'm hoping.
Oh, I think so too. So that is fabulous. So you know what? Registration is ongoing for SLIG. You need to go in and you need to get registered for this course so you can take it. It sounds like it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous course, and we all learn in different ways. And this is a great way to
It's true.
kind
Mhm.
of turn things around a little bit and see things in a different way. So I'm excited for you, and I'm
Thank
excited
you.
for the people that are going to take this course. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining me so that we could talk about your course, and we're going to
Thank you so
encourage
much,
people.
Cheri.
We're going to encourage people to go and get signed up and take it. And I can't wait to hear results and what people are finding in their homes. This will be great. So, with that, we'll
Thank you
see.
so much for speaking with
Of
me today. I really
course.
appreciate it.
Of course, you're so welcome. I'm excited to talk to you about this course. So we will see you next time as we discuss another of our SLIG courses that you can sign up for and take. So we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.